Hi, my name is Austin, and this is my story. So worship is a really big part of my life, and music is too. I've been playing bass for about 12 years now, and also started band leading a couple of years ago. And I've been doing that for our local church for about 7 years. And for a while I was playing what's called a Steinberger bass. It's very small and good for travel, sounds okay, but wasn't quite meeting the needs of what I was trying to go for. And I was grateful for it, absolutely, but was dreaming of bigger things. And I had decided that I wanted specific things, like I wanted a 5-string bass, which is less common. I wanted a PJ pickup setup, which is less common. And I found as close as what I could find online, but it wasn't quite there. And so I decided, okay, well, I'll just kind of settle and you know, just get what's available, not knowing what God had planned. One day in early 2021, I went to my wife and said, honey, I really would like to have a new bass, and I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm thinking of. Is this something that's possible maybe in the near future? And she said, oh, you know, honey, that sounds great, but that's not really something that we can do right now. You know, maybe for Christmas, or maybe we can talk about it next year. And so when she said that, I was not discouraged like I thought I would be, but immediately out of my mouth came, that's okay, God will get me a bass anyway. So those words come out of my mouth before I can even realize what I've said. And as they did, I start believing what I said. I set a picture as my background of the exact bass that I wanted, the color, the style, everything, as close to my dream and vision as I could get. And I said, do you see this picture of this bass? I'm gonna make it my phone background. I'm gonna see it every day, every time I open my phone, and I'm gonna see it so often that what I see will become my reality. So I didn't know when it was coming, but I was believing God for this miracle. I've started declaring things and really believing for it beyond the faith that I'm used to. And I'm thinking it's going to take months or years maybe. But a week later, on a Sunday morning, I'm about to go up on stage and play a Sunday set. And a couple walks up to me as I'm about to go up the steps. And they say, we would like to write you a check to build a bass guitar that's exactly how you want it, and we would like to bless you with that. When they told me that, not only was I just floored by God's goodness, but within probably a couple weeks of knowing that that guitar was coming, the one that I had broke. He knew I needed it now. So it was really cool because instead of settling for what was available that I could do myself, maybe in a couple of years or more, God brought exactly what I asked for, completely custom to what I wanted through the generosity of someone else. From there, everything changed because now, not only scripturally, but experientially, I understood that specific prayers get specific results. And this was just the first step of so many other answered prayers in our life because we prayed specifically, because we heard God's voice and we started to declare those things out. This was just the beginning. It's on the list of the smaller blessings that have happened in the last couple years for us and our family. And out of that blessing, we've been able to bless others, and nothing could be better than that. I don't know if I told you guys, but like literally, that was like the first step to like everything else.
That's so cool.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you guys, like, after that we started like really being specific and like, God, how can we bless people?
Mm-hmm.
And God gave me a dream immediately. So I woke up in the morning one day and God's like, go back to sleep. And I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with that. So I go back to sleep, and the minute my head hits the pillow, he gave me a last name and a dollar amount and said, I want you to give this to them. And I'm like, that's, whoa. And I'm like, did I hear that right, God? Was it something that I ate? Like, because that's really difficult for us. And he's like, I want you to do it. And so we go to church that morning, and I'm telling Betsy next to me in the seat, after church, I say, hey, so I had a dream last night, and I got a last name and a number. She said, that's a big number. And I said, yeah, well, how about we wait for God to confirm it with you or touch on it again and we'll revisit it. And that was that. And for 5 months, God reminded me every single day of that number. Like he would not let it go. And finally, I couldn't take it anymore. And again, coming back from church one day, I say, hey, you remember that dream I had? And she's like, oh, yeah. I said, I've thought about that every single day for months. And she said, you've got to be kidding me. Why didn't you say anything? I said, because it's difficult. And I said, if I don't give this amount, I'm going to wonder about it for the rest of my life. And what had happened towards the end of that, like a week before, God hit me really hard again and gave me the last name, the number, and he says, I need you to do this because it's for their house and they lost a job. It was very specific. And so finally that day, we get home from church, I call up these folks. I haven't seen them in a year or two. We don't have a close relationship. And I say, hey, it's so-and-so. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, how's your day going? And they're like, well, all right. We're just sitting here at Arby's. And I say, hey, I had a dream about you guys. I'd like to give you a gift. And once I hang up this phone, I'll send it. And they said, oh, wow, thank you. And they start crying over the phone. And they say, you have no idea. We just lost our business because of COVID. Just like God said. And I hang up the phone and I send the amount. And they text back and they say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You just paid our house payment.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Like the exact amount.
Wow.
And immediately after, okay, here's the next part. Immediately after, I hope you guys have time.
Yeah.
Okay. Immediately after I do that, I hear God say so loud, don't worry, I will give it back to you tenfold. And I'm like, okay, we'll see how that plays out. I trust you, God. So already I'm just wow, thank you. It was exactly what you said. I'm on a spiritual high right now. I don't care if it comes back to me, but cool. Christmas time, I get a call from a family member. They say, hey, I'm going to pay off your master's degree free and clear. And it was within $1 or $2, exactly 10 times the amount.
Oh my gosh, Austin.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's insane. And stuff like this keeps happening.
That is so
Yeah.
cool. Oh
And
my gosh, give me chills.
right? And so I think this is coming out of recognizing what God is doing, writing it down, thanking him for it, and then praying into the next things, standing on what he's already done. I don't know if that was on camera, but that was good.
That was on camera.
So I want to challenge you to make your dreams and desires known to God, even if you're not familiar with him yet, because he cares about your dreams and desires just as much as anybody else.